Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Afternoon Market Action. My name is Glenn, and you are.
Good day, everybody. My name is Ryan. Pleasure to be here this afternoon. How are you doing today, Glenn?
There we go. We're doing well. I'm doing it this way. I got a delay, so it's really weird. That's all right. If you can hear us loud and clear, please let us know in the chat. Let us know that we are coming across loud and clear. What is that? Oh,
I do. See, we're about a 15-second delay, it looks like.
yeah, I just turned down my YouTube just so that I can. All right, this is going to be good. We're going to be fine. Listen through Teams. Okay. Okay. All right. I think I understand what you just said. Anyway, interesting that the CPI news came out today. It was a lot cooler than what people expected. I still think that people are expecting the Fed to still raise rates come at the end of this month. We're going to talk a little bit about that. A lot of stocks on our radar as well that we're going to talk about as well. So there's a lot going on, and we're going to keep you guys in the know, informed, and give you some good stock picks. This is what we do. This is what we do all the time. Joey, I'm not able to see the home page. Can I change that here? Yeah. All right. So I don't know what they're seeing. They're just seeing me and Ryan and the software. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go open up the homepage of the software. Let's go let them see that, and let's go see what we see. All right. So with the confirmed call we just recently had, I think this was one of the fastest turnarounds I've ever seen on a confirmed call to turn around back to a confirmed up call. But something that I want you all to pay attention to in a second. What do we see? A lot of green popping in. The market is picking up on that bullish euphoria that that inflation is cooling. That's a positive sign for the economy. But the Fed stepped back last month, paused, and I think that he's already said he's got at least two more raises on tap for the rest of the year. So I think that right now it'll be a pause, a raise, a pause, a raise, and then we'll see what goes on for the rest of the year into the end of the year. Ryan, your thoughts on that?
I'm definitely betting for a July rate hike. What about yourself, Glenn?
I'm looking for a July, a pause in August, and maybe a raise in the fall in September. And then we'll see going into the holiday season what he does. It all depends on, does he get inflation to that 2%? Now, it's going to be interesting. Todd and I were talking, and the rate of inflation is falling. All right. And at some point in time, where do we get to a point where we start to have inflation on the rise compared to where we are right now? It's going to be a very interesting telling sign. Do we get to 2% or do we get to 3% and that's enough before he stops raising interest rates? And then what happens if inflation starts to rise again? Where do we stand? How much is he willing to let it rise? So there's a lot long term what I'm looking at. Short term, I think it's a bullish sign, but I don't think that even the bullish euphoria is going to stop the Fed from raising in July. So we'll see. Now, let me tell you the interesting thing. Joey, who's got it? I do or he does? I do. I want to click on the graphs. For those of you who are subscribers to the VectorVest software, here is the confirmed down call. But I want to show you something that I've very rarely seen, if ever. We got the confirmed down call here on, looks like July 6th. You know what caught my attention? The underlying trend of the market never fell below the value of 1. That's the software doing its job. And for those of you who are always saying, well, before I get into VectorVest, where's the value? Where's the value behind having the VectorVest software? I think that in and of itself within the last week shows off the value of the software. So it's not just that the market went down for 2 consecutive 5-day periods, the buy to sell ratio went below 1, it was lower than the day before. All of those things will make a confirmed call move, whether it's up or down. But the MTI, the underlying trend of the market, which looks at 3 indicators, the price of the composite, the buy to sell ratio, the MTI, the price, the RT, and buy to sell ratio, never went below 1. The underlying trend of the market, the MTI, never went below 1.
I mentioned that in the daily color guard report on Monday.
Say again?
I mentioned that on the daily color guard report on Monday.
So, and that goes back to the value add, the guidance that we give on a nightly basis, the guidance that we give every Friday in a specific special presentation. Folks, for those of you who are not subscribers to the VectorVest system, these are the things that separate us beyond everybody else that's out there in this world as far as investing and on the YouTube channel. I'm going to draw something real quick. Not only did the MTI not go below 1, but look at this bounce off support. Look at this bounce off support. Look at the trend line. All right. And the guidance that we give last week or this week, it is Ryan. Folks, we keep you in the know as to what's going on and why you need to pay attention and how to invest in this market. All right, so now, for those people who are not subscribers to the VectorVest system, does that make sense to you guys, yes or no? For those people who are not subscribers to the VectorVest system, what I just showed you, does that make sense, especially as a value add? Because people were probably jumping all, hey, let's go long. Does that make sense? And is it something that you would consider? And if it is, Joey's going to put a link in there. You can take a trial to the VectorVest system for 99 cents. 99 cents for 30 days and get this kind of guidance. All right, so I like Brandon says, VectorVest pays for itself in a matter of days. Hop on board if you haven't yet. Get this money with us. That's what I'm talking about. Go get that money. Go get that money. All right. Stocks seem to be itching to run, but the bond market has responded. Not so fast, with yields breaking out on both nominal and real terms. I think that Ryan may have some insight as far as the bonds go. As a matter of fact, if you want to talk about it now while we're on the market timing graph, you can, or unless you want to hold off on it, whichever you want to do, Ryan.
What was that, Glenn?
The question came up about the bond market. Do you want to, I know you said you were going to talk about that a little bit. Do you want to talk about it now or wait?
No, we could talk about it. I mean, as of today, all the treasury yields are down right now. I think mostly on the news of the inflation data.
So what does that mean for our subscribers or for the people out there who are watching?
Well, typically, if the yields are down, that's good for the stock market.
Okay.
That's lowering competition between the yields of these treasuries and bonds compared to the yields, of expected returns in the stock market.
So we do know that this is all about, the stock market is all about the battle between earnings yield and interest yields.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so I just wanted to put that out there.
And today it looks like the stock market's winning.
Well,
because I'm looking right now on CNBC, they're looking at the treasury notes. I looked this morning, but yeah, they're still down right now.
Okay. And that's a good thing to keep in mind, that this leg to the upside may have some upside, or may have, in the move to the upside may have some legs. All right, so with all of that being said, 3-month graph, we took out the area of these abandoned 3 bars, gap up, gap down. We faded the gap, and now we're on 3-month highs on the VectorVest composite. Very little wick at the top of the candle. Let's talk about the news that's moving the market, and we'll scroll over to that real quick. Inflation is backing off. Why the Fed is still pushing on. All right, so we talked a little bit about that already. I can't get into the stories behind the paywall. That's fine. All I'm really worried about is the headlines. So the Fed's going to keep pushing on because they're, even though we rose on a much smaller, it's not a much smaller scale, but on a smaller scale, the Fed is still very adamant about getting inflation down to 2%. It's not there yet, so the Fed's going to continue raising interest rates. At some point in time, you got to sit back and say, when is enough enough? And he will determine that. The last thing he wants to have happen, as I mentioned, as we keep falling, the bar for inflation keeps on falling. At some point in time, do we get to a point where the inflation starts to go back up? We'll see. Keep that. And he doesn't want to get caught with his pants down with inflation going back up, even though he's risen or he pushed interest rates higher. Anything you want to add to that, Ryan?
I will say, I was reading this article and it said June inflation stokes hopes for end to rate hikes by the Federal Reserve. I see a tapering of the the Fed rate hikes, but I don't see this, ending right now.
I agree. I totally agree.
I think they've got some breathing room finally. They were playing catch up there for a while.
I think the next rate hike's going to probably be a quarter basis point, not a 50. Someone says on here, yeah, I'm up 24% since March using the software. I like that name, Joe Mama. Should I buy Bitcoin right now? No. That's all I got to say about that. I'm not getting into it. That's me. You ask a question. Hey, Ryan, you gonna buy Bitcoin?
I'm not against Bitcoin. Okay. I do look at the charts, but right now I'm not necessarily a buyer. It's doubled in price just in the last few months. I think you could probably get a better deal if you hold it off.
Do you think that the crypto winter is over?
I don't think the crypto winter is over, but I think now that we're, hopefully getting to the end of this interest rate period, interest rate hikes, it's giving it some optimism per se, but I don't think it's over.
I think that FTX still weighs heavy on the whole crypto space. That's me personally. Francisco, what is your questions? What companies ate producing great graphene? You said, can you answer my question? I don't understand the question. Mark is here. Every day, the Derby proves the value of the software by telling us the rest of the story. All right, so Francisco, I'd love to answer your question, but I got to understand what you're asking me. All right, let's go to the next story. U.S. stocks are rising after cooler than expected inflation stokes rate hopes. All right, we already talked about that. Here's another story, oil. Steve, Ryan and I had a conversation about whether we were bullish or bearish on oil. As I look more into it, I think short term, I'm getting on board with both Steve and Ryan in regards to short term. I still think that oil may have an upside short term. What I'd really like to see happening is I'd like to see the current administration continue to refill the reserves, because we are getting ready to go, if we're not already there, into hurricane season. God forbid something really happens to a really bad part of the United States and we need oil, we are going to be screwed big time. So the prices the prices of oil had gone down. They had a target price of like $70. They should have been putting more oil back in the reserves a little sooner than now. And I think that there are stories out there that they are buying back, but they had a better opportunity at lower oil prices. Right now, the cutback in OPEC, Russia's trying to do the same thing. They're trying to artificially increase demand, and that's not a good sign. We'll see. I think short term, though.
Yeah, last week I brought an article on the show with OPEC cutting demand, Russia and Saudi Arabia. Remember, I was bullish, at least short term, for at least this month, because their cut goes until August, they agreed on.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the next story. This is Ryan's story about Domino's. Talk about it.
So yeah, Domino's, big mover in the market today. It got up to 12% in early trading hours. I haven't watched it this afternoon, but ultimately, last month, they reported having a slowdown in their delivery orders. So they just announced a partnership with Uber. So now people on their Uber app can actually order Domino's through Uber Eats. And what was the other one? Postmates, to make the delivery process easier.
All
So I
right.
think this will, 'cause they had concerns with inflation. They're trying to keep costs down, but I don't know if you've ordered a pizza lately, but Domino's has definitely gotten a little bit more expensive, and they came out and said last month that they flagged some sluggishness in the delivery business, which actually that was April. So they're hoping that this partnership, they're releasing this in 4 pilot markets in the fall. So this isn't released yet. It'll be out in a couple months, but they're hoping this will kind of stimulate some of that delivery business. But the stock market's responding very favorable to it.
I like to pick from that perspective. It's news driven. Does it equate out to real money? We'll see. Graphene material. I don't know what that is. So, Francisco, you know what graphene material is? Something about being used in microchips?
Graphene, I do not.
I don't either. So let me take a look at that. Maybe we'll have a story for you next week. I have no idea what that is. So I won't be able to effectively give you an answer, Francisco. What's the buzz on hydrogen and Toyota? The only buzz that I had was last week on Toyota and the solid state battery. I don't know what's going on with hydrogen in that yet.
We got to do a story on hydrogen because I feel like we get a lot of hydrogen comments.
I know that's something that is on my list. It's on my list of ideas.
Our viewers, they're pretty optimistic about that hydrogen.
Yeah, hydrogen goes boom. So anyway, I'm thinking about doing a story on it. Trader says my mic sounds janky. Did you really say janky? You from the hood, Trader Matt? You said janky. Normally only hood people say janky. I'm just saying. I'm not judging. I'm just saying I know the type of people that says janky. All right, that's all I got to say. I know that a few people are big on hydrogen. Again, it is on my list of ideas to do a story on. All right, and as a matter of fact, when I did the solid state story, my next video was going to be the alternative to the alternative, which would have been hydrogen. So that is something that is on my list. Graphene is atomic level surface coating. Oh yeah. All right. Again, let Ryan and I take a look at that before we even give any insight on that. All right, everybody out there, is that good for all of y'all? Let us take a look at that before we start even trying to tout anything. All right. Thank you for that, Fitz. Turn Glenn's mic down. It's too hot. Dang. Trader, what's your problem today? You on one. All right, let's go to the next story. This is one of my stories. Shopify to launch AI assistant for merchants. The whole spot with AI is still hot. Shopify is jumping on board with it. I think that anybody and everybody who's in the tech space is trying to get a piece of that pie. You know why? Because the beans don't burn in the kitchen and something don't fry on the grill. You gotta get up that hill because now we're up in the big leagues. Getting our turn at bat.
Are you quoting Nelly?
It's not Nelly. That's not Nelly. It's the Jeffersons. How you go to Nelly? It's the Jeffersons. And I don't even know all the words to that. I don't even know all the words to it. But I think that everybody is really trying to get a piece of that pie. Drew says Toyota has a hydrogen engine which will work better than hydrogen fuel cell. Yeah, all right. Toyota and hydrogen.
Let me go ahead and write that one down.
I am too. Toyota and hydrogen. One of us will put out a story if we can get the wherewithal to do so. All right. Hey, Glenn, hydrogen is... Stop messing with me, Jake. Stop. I'm finna put you in the timeout, Brian. Don't start with me in quantum. All right. So I got this in my list today, Shopify and the AI assistant. I know, Brandon, he said Nelly. He said, how did you get Nelly out of that?
That's the Country Grammar album.
That got nothing to do with it. Sorry. All right. Let's go to the next story. This is Ryan's story. Biden touts in-phase energy investments as Bidenomics in action. You know, I don't like to talk politics.
I'm not talking politics.
Okay.
I'm talking money. And if you have a segment of the economy that is backed by the political power at this point, I mean, there's money to be made.
I like the way you presented that. Don't get me wrong. I do. I like the way you presented that. Okay.
I'll President back off. Okay. Joe Biden, he highlighted a $60 million investment to in-phase energy. I think, the article says he wanted to do this as proof for his economic agenda. Now, this created jobs in South Carolina. This plant is actually based outside of Columbia. But politics aside, I mean, in-phase energy, I mean, they're one of the leading
I agree.
Leading companies in the space of solar energy. And if they're being backed by the federal government right now with stimulus, I mean, I'm on board, as far as being bullish on that position, politics aside.
Nope, I got you. Paul says Toyota's hydrogen combustion engine has potential to make EVs obsolete. Oh boy. Thank you, Paul. World leaders arrive in their private jets to talk about the imminent risk of climate change. I know, Dan. What? I know.
The hypocrisy.
The hypocrisy. You know something? It doesn't even make sense. None of this makes sense. But it gets the people pumped, right, Joey?
Gets the people going?
Gets the people going, right, Joey? I'm not getting you involved in that again.
We're gonna leave it at that.
We're gonna leave it at that. All right. I like the idea of saying that the administration in charge is putting some muscle behind it. And it could move the stock's price higher. And you're right, even if they didn't, Enphase is a leader in that space. So put the two together, that might be a really good pick. How do I get some of that money for solar? You know something? There's a lot of solar stocks that are out there. Isn't there an ETF for solar? It's not Jinko. It's not J. There's an search, see if you can find it.
I'll Google it right now.
It is an ETF for solar. EMPH, same since 11. But EMPH Trader Matter is a good quality stock. We're going to look at that when we look at his list. All right, next story. Mayhem at Microsoft. Tech giant lays off hundreds more in accident, 10,000 earlier. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I keep tweeting out all of the cuts all the way around. And you look at the tech companies making a lot of money. Part of that is a lot of these companies are laying off a lot of people to help the bottom line. A lot of companies are meeting or exceeding earnings expectations because they're cutting the fat by laying off people. There's a lot of people have been laid off, but the job market is still looking for a lot of people as well. Very interesting dichotomy of sorts. People getting laid off, but people still looking for a lot of people to hire. Very interesting thing. EMPH.
I haven't seen or heard of a big layoff in a tech company in a couple months now. I know last year it was kind of the thing to do to help earnings.
Well, and that was going into the first and second quarter. Do you still going into the third quarter? Does this mean for Microsoft that they're trying to ramp up and get ready for the third quarter reporting? Already. I don't know. Could be. And if that's the case, when earnings come out, you're going to start possibly seeing more and more companies, especially in the tech related, who have been rocking and rolling, doing the same thing. Either that or upping up the dividends. I think those are the two most popular ways to make sure that people continue to buy into the company.
I read an article the other week where it's talking about AI being able to code here soon.
AI is big, and AI is going to get bigger. And this is why I look at companies like Palantir, companies like Snowflake, because these are the machine learning companies. And the big AI software is going to need the data to push the hardware. All of this information's got to be put into a computer so that it can be spit out back to an AI to help the AI. I'm telling you, yeah, you hear me talk about Palantir. The other big stock that's in this space is Snowflake. These machine learning companies are going to be huge. And not only that, again, why a lot of the Googles and the Microsofts and all of these companies are jumping on board with the AI, but you can't sell short the companies that do get all the data for this, right? So what did Roger say? Roger says, that sounds interesting. What did Drew say? Sigh. What did you say, Drew? Looking through the chat. Toyota has a hydrogen engine that will work better.
Drew said, looking to replace my house windows with the window/glass solar panels.
In the comments. Is there stock for that?
Let me write that one down. We can find out. I'm writing it down
too. Window glass solar panels. Window glass solar panels. All right. I like these ideas as long as we can get stories after them. All right, so layoff story. Let's go to the next one. Oh, this is one of Ryan's. Look at this. And what did I talk about last week? I was wondering if Threads was going to be a real competition for Twitter. Talk to me about this.
Well, Meta released Threads. Ultimately, it's going right after Twitter's market share. The whole design behind this new platform is to take space from Twitter. Right now, they are not trying to monetize this new platform, just scale it. That tends to be the new trend. We're going to scale it first and then figure out how to monetize it later. But the last thing I heard was they have amassed over 100 million signups.
They had 30 million in like the first day.
Well, it got out last Tuesday, so 100 million in the first week. I mean, that is phenomenal.
But you know where they get all of that from, right? A lot of that's coming from their Instagram.
Correct, or existing Facebook users.
Right. So you put those two together. I mean, they got a lot of users out there, but a lot of. Did you get a Threads account?
I did not. Have you?
I didn't either.
I don't even have Instagram, to be honest.
You don't have Instagram? I got Instagram.
Yeah, for being a millennial, I don't have too many social media platforms.
And what am I? I'm a Gen Z, Gen X. What comes after baby boomers?
I do.
I think it's a Gen X. I think I'm Gen X.
Okay.
That's why I know. Trader Matt says MTTR just laid off a large percentage, stocks up bigly. Again, that's a good way to help the bottom line is by cutting the fat by laying off folks. All right. So anything else you want to do about this story? You want me to go on to the next one?
I did just want to add Micmac. They're like an advertisement agency. Essentially, they logged a 42% decline in Twitter traffic between April and May.
Wow.
And some companies were pausing their paid advertising campaigns. So to be honest, it sounds like, Twitter was kind of in trouble before this whole thread thing was even released.
Okay.
So this could be the nail in the coffin for them.
You really think it becomes a nail in the coffin for Twitter?
Again, I don't even use Twitter. I'm just going off the facts that a 42% decline in Twitter traffic in 2 months, that's pretty significant.
All right. I don't know. I don't know if I can get my head wrapped around Twitter just being that gone.
And I mean,
Threads is a new thing. It's
with Elon Musk. I mean, he's a pretty creative individual. He might be able to, come back with something even better.
All right.
To enhance their platform.
Trader Matt, I do the jockey clubs on Friday. I hear you. But everybody's different in the jockey club. Roger says, Glenn, look at Jobby. We're going to take a look at your stocks in a minute. All right, we're going to take a look at your stocks in a takeoff electric vehicle, an eVTOL. I don't know if I want to be up in the air if I run out of battery. I'm just saying, I just don't know.
It's no different than running out of gas, Glenn.
Yeah, it is, because I'm on the ground and I can get out the car and be like, and call AAA. But if I'm in the air, I'm flying over some mountains, I ain't got no landing. I don't know. I just don't know. Woo! I don't know. All right. Unless we got an airplane in the air that's got, like a tanker, but it's an electrical tanker that we can go and I don't know. I don't know.
Would that
Carry
be like
along
a
extension
nuclear
cord, says
powered
Roger.
airplane?
Huh?
I mean, I guess would that be like a nuclear powered airplane
It could. We got nuclear power. We can get a nuclear
where it
powered
can just
airplane.
charge other flying vehicles?
That would be the only way I'm doing it. That's the only way. All right. Next story. Broadcom gets EU nod for 61 billion VMware acquisition. That's just Broadcom is another really good AVGO is another good company, and I like when a company that does well or takes their money and puts it. VMware is big. VMware is big in the security industry. All right, so I like the story. I like both stocks. Excuse me. They're going to acquire them, which means VMware will probably go away. But that adds to AVGO. We'll take a look at that stock. Right. Next story. Yeah, this is a Ryan thing. This is so a Ryan thing.
So this article touches base on IoT. For individuals that don't know what that is, that's Internet of Things. The simple way of describing Internet of Thing companies, it makes dumb appliances smart. So as you've probably noticed over the last, decade, everything from, refrigerators to, thermostats have integrated the internet and been connected to the internet to become smarter, essentially. And this article is actually talking about how IoT is going to kind of piggyback off the AI revolution. As you know, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, kind of my computer froze for a second.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so IoT is going to piggyback off AI. They've already got this implemented in the manufacturing sector. I know the healthcare sector, there's a lot of integration going on with that right now. But ultimately, the IoT market is expected to reach an annual valuation of $2.4 trillion by 2027.
That's a lot of money.
I did some research on this a couple weeks ago. The aggregate growth to 2030 was just over 20% a year or 20% annually. So there's a lot of potential in here. So if you're trying to play off the AI space and you want a little bit of a different avenue to go, definitely check out some IoT stocks. We'll have one in the list, in our watch list that we create later today. But yeah, I think this is going to be huge for the IoT space, integrating AI into it.
So we technically we could end up eventually having an AI butler in the house. So, you think about it. You look at it in movies. You ever watch the movie with Sly Stallone and the chick from? Did I say chick? The lady from Speed. What was that? Something Man. Sandra Bullock.
Oh yeah, Sandra Bullock.
And Wesley Snipes was in the movie. The whole idea of having some semblance of an AI butler in your house. Turn the lights down, turn the thermostat up, close the shades, close the blinds, or, you look at another application where your refrigerator can actually put it in order for the food that's been eaten in your refrigerator to make sure you have enough of it. All of this falls under that. Is that correct?
Correct. So that's really what this space is. It's turning our appliances into smart objects, and we've seen that over the decade quite a bit. Like you said, we've got smart refrigerators. I don't know. I was at Lowe's, this was a couple months ago, but they have a refrigerator now that you can set your milk on and your eggs on, and it'll tell you when you're running low and create a list of
I just
things you need
said
for the
that.
grocery store,
Did
and
you
it'll
not
send
just
it
hear
to
me?
your phone.
Did you not just hear me say that? That's exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure that there's no lack of communication between us. Are you there?
Yeah. Sorry, there's a lag on my Teams here.
Ah, okay. All right. All right.
Oh.
Well, Joey, hopefully will work on that. All right. Let's go to the next story. The best stock in the whole wide world, according to Glenn. Apple gets a price target boost, even a spending slowdown can't stop the gains. I think that Apple is full of eclectic people like me who are going to spend money no matter what they put out. I'm wondering what the sales are on their new glasses. I don't know. I haven't done any research on it yet. But they just did their event a couple 2-3 weeks ago on all of the new product, and people get all excited about it. I am still always bullish on Apple, especially when it comes down to the holiday season as well. But a spending slowdown can't stop the gains. Apple is in that whole tech space. Somebody typed in the big seven tech stocks on the rise. They are. All right, and right now, if there's ain't no stopping us now, because we're on the move. No stopping, no stopping, no stopping, no stop.
Glenn,
So, huh?
did you hear about the rumors of the Apple car?
No, I haven't yet.
There's definitely some rumors going around about an Apple car, and I
Why?
think that would take this stock to a whole new level if that
Who
were
needs
true.
an Apple car? No, and that's the whole world of being eclectic, like the Apple niche people. It's not that you need it, you just want it because it's an Apple car. And you know something? People would buy the car because it's an Apple car. Hi, Sonny says, I've had a wifey activated thermostat for decades. Wow. Yeah, I do too. Honey, it's too hot. Honey, it's too cold. I do too. I've got that as well. I've definitely got that as well. All right. So we're gonna take a look at Apple. This is a story that I brought up, but I think I would really like Ryan's input on it. NASDAQ 100 rebalancing coming in July 2024. And the reason why I want Ryan to talk about it, because he does a lot of stuff trading this stocks in this space. So rebalancing. And as you scroll down through the story, I don't know if you read it or not. The NASDAQ 100 will undergo a special rebalance. They normally do it at the end of the year.
So they're not adding or subtracting any stocks, I saw.
They're not. That's correct.
The goal behind this is to take the top weighted stocks and use some of that weight to the lower section of the NASDAQ 100.
And there's your top 5. Apple, the best stock in the world. Microsoft, NVIDIA, Google, and Amazon. And those 5 make up 40% of the index. And I think the reweighting is to take some of the onus off of them, because someone posted in a comment that in a video that I just did about utilizing the Unisearch, that the big move in the market was based off of the big tech stocks over the last few months, rock and rolling. And again, a lot of it is AI driven. A lot of it is AI driven. So this was an interesting story to keep your eyes on as far as that rebalance. All right, so I wanted to bring that up. And one last story, in case you don't have a subscription to the software, if you ever go to our VectorVest site, www.vectorvest.com, and you can go over to the blog right here. We always keep good, updated information on news stories. We try to put out at least one every day. At least sometimes you're going to get 2, but at least one news story, hot news story every day. So even if you don't have the VectorVest software, but you want to keep on top of some of the things that are moving in the market, here's a good way. VectorVest.com, go down to our blog. Let's go take a look at this ATI story. ATI hits a 9-year high. Can it continue to run? And the cool thing about the stories, we talk about what's going on with the stock, but it all comes back full circle to utilizing the VectorVest software to give you real useful information. Again, it comes back to the value add of what VectorVest has to offer. So even though it made the news, is it worthy? Can it continue its run? And that's what we talk about in all of our stories. All right. So with that, I think that's all. So, and again, to get there, you go to www.vectorvest.com. And once you get to our main site, which looks like this, once you get to our main website, you go over to where the selection that says blog, and you'll notice that if you're a swing trader, we have swing trading ideas, option ideas, hot stocks, and retirement. All right, but if I just click on the blog, right, we do what we can to give you insight of what's going on in the market. Brandon says he bought him. Let's get into the VectorVest software. All right, we're going to click on it again. There we go. We looked at the market timing graph already. Let's move over to the viewers tab. What's going on in the major indices today? Even with the news of what's going on, the tech stocks up 1.3. The lower dollar stocks, the IWMs, up in excess of 1%. The S&P is up. The Dow is up. Not a ton. The Dow is up about 0.3%, almost 0.4%. The composite's pushing 1%. A nice up day on the market, as you saw on the market timing graph, very little wick at the top of the graph. So we're at the top of the bar, which means that we're trading at session highs today. With that being said, let's go down. I want to go to the building stocks real quick. That's a watch list of 4 industries that I've been keeping my eyes on for you. Building cement,
Looks like we lost Glenn. You see that, Joey? Okay. But just reiterating, Glenn here, taking a look at his watch list. They're all up today. You know, the big mover, Techno Glass Inc. up over 3% today. Even look at copper. I saw copper earlier today making big moves, over 3%. See, that's the Global X ETF there. Is Glenn, are you coming back?
Yeah, I think I'm here. I don't know. All right, that was interesting. All right. No, I don't think so.
It looks like on YouTube, my barn took over your space.
Oh, I got to do that. Hold on, let me put my camera on. Here we go. That was interesting, to say the least. All right. So where were we? I heard you still talking. Oh, is ATI in this list? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, ATI is in the list.
ATI is already in the list, and that was one of the stocks from the blog. But it looks like I already put it into the list of building stocks. That's awesome, right? That's awesome. All right, and again, this is just stocks in the space because the whole AI stuff, the manufacturing, bringing a lot of manufacturing back to the U.S. to get it out of China's hands to help with the supply chain. The building that's going to be happening or is currently happening. What did I say? I said building cement, steel, glass, and copper. That's what makes up this list. Right. Mm-hmm. So I always like looking at this. Let's go to Glenn's picks last week. Let's go see what I got on my. Oh, I don't have control, Joey.
Do I have control?
Move your mouse around. I see your mouse moving.
I don't have control.
Oh, that's Joey? All right, Joey, can you go over to Glenn's picks last week? Oh, wait a minute. I think I just got control. I feel like Janet Jackson. Control. Now I got a lot. Control. All right, there's my stocks. Was those my stocks? I had Meta. Of course, I had Apple last week. There's
you
the
got
dollar.
Toyota, I see.
Huh?
I said you got Toyota.
Yeah, that was the big story last week on that car. Moderna, I did like. Vision Marine. Where's Energy? Are you here? If I doubt very seriously that stock did too good. I'm just saying, I don't think that stock did too good, but we'll see. I probably was bearish there. I might have been bearish on the dollar. There's only two. Let's go see what they did from last week. I think those would have probably been the only two. Would have been VMAR. All right, hold on. I'm clicking on. Oh, you got it. It probably popped up on another screen for you, Joey. The window. Okay. Here we go. Let's go back 1 week to the 5th, right just before the confirmed down call. Let's go see how these worked out. So the only two I would have been bearish on would have probably been the dollar and VMAR. Let's quick test them. Ooh, they didn't do so. Only two winners. Let's go see. I can't see it. But that didn't help.
Well, you won your bearish trades.
What is it? VMAR and the dollar both went down. There we go. So this minus, man, that looks poopy. This minus probably would have not been a full-blown minus based on those two. Apple didn't do so good. Google didn't do so good. Toyota, which I really thought with that solid-state battery news would have done better. But Moderna, that was a China. China's reaching out for us to help them with the coronavirus. So I think that's going to be a big bump for Moderna. All right. Let's go look at Ryan's picks from last week. Here they are. We're still on the same date. SMCI, there's the chip companies. Good move. Four of them. GM, oil, and oil. I think you got good picks coming into the week. Let's go quick test them. Good googly muggly. Blew the market out. All of your stocks made money. Good picks, bro. 4.38 compared to the S&P, only up like 0.75%. Every one of them made money. Good picks. But weighted. 4 of them in the chips, 2 of them in oil. Nonetheless, good picks. Good picks. All right. Now that you beat me out last week, let's go stream.
Let's see what we got this week.
Let's go look at your picks this week. Oh, I need one for the IoT. You got to give me a stock for IoT.
Oh, the symbol is literally IoT.
Oh, okay.
Samsara.
IoT. Here we go. All right, those are your picks. With Domino's, Meta, Enphase, and IoT. There you go.
A little bit more diverse this week.
Okay. Is that it?
So yeah, we got Meta here. If we look, it's overvalued, but what I do like, look at the RTs on all of these. Nice RTs. The only one that doesn't have a favorable price trend right now is Enphase. But look at the growth rate on Enphase at 40.
I agree.
Very high growth rate. Even IoT, very high growth rate here. So I think we, especially if we're just doing this week over week, I think this will be a good play with the momentum in the market coming out with a, lower expected, consumer price index right now. A lot of these are growth companies, other than Domino's Pizza. But I think Domino's, that momentum will continue.
I like the partnership. I like the partnership. I just want to see if the partnership equates out to dollars. That's all I want to see. Big move today. I just want to see if the partnership equates out to dollars. And if it does, you're right. Could be a big move. And something, you got to be creative. Sometime when the market gets soft for you, you've got to be creative to turn it around. That may be the right way to turn it around. We'll see. All right, my picks for the week. What do I have? AVGO, Apple, Microsoft, and oil. All right, all of them are up. Big growth for me is AVGO. Fundamentally sound company. I think with the addition of VMware, another sound company. Let me go see. VMware, VMW. Let's go add that up there. VMW. Not as fundamentally sound, but adding to AVGO could turn that company around. Actually, if they take them over, they'll be delisted. But
look at VM's RT right now. That thing is moving up quickly.
It's probably the news driven because of AVGO.
Correct. Up almost 3% today.
Fundamentally not sound. Think it's news driven, but again, if they take them over, VMware goes away. And just adding to the coffers for AVGO. So oil, I think artificially creating demand for oil. I got a whole bunch I want to say about that, but I ain't. Microsoft and Apple. So those are my stocks going in. You notice that, going into next week, these are my stock picks. All right, so we'll see how they work out. Let's do one last thing. Customer picks, and because of the time, we're only going to do 10 stocks, and Joey is going to type in the 10 stocks that he wants. All right, Joey's going to type in. So as long as you're nice to Joey, Joey's going to look and see what your picks are. Really, A-Fox? A-Fox says Ryan,
hey, thanks,
1,
A-Fox.
Glenn 0. Whatever.
Hey, we should take a poll. Who do you think's going to win this week?
Fine, let's go take a poll. Let's go see. Let's go see. All right, so Joey's going to type in stocks. I'm not calling them out. It's going to be strictly on Joey. 1, 2, 3.
Got 4.
4. 5. Walmart 6. CPRX 7. EXP 8. Zscaler.
Joey will win.
ZS. That's 9. Oh, 8. Okay. No, don't you. I just put Mark. I just put Mark into timeout. Put Mug F. GGR. No.
CRM, what? That's Salesforce, right?
Yep. Put CRM up there. All right, that should be about 10 stocks. 9. Put one more. Did you put CRM in there? You did. URI. That's from Fitz. URI.
Look at gold's move today, up almost 5%.
Very interesting on gold. You know something? Who's got the? I do. I want to do something. Right click. I want to view the industry graph. Let's go see if gold is really ready to rock and roll. So GDX is up nicely today, right? One of the stocks that's moving the most, like Board Drilling. Oh, I think you got it on another. There you go. Thank you, Joey. Put that on a. I'll put it on a 3-month graph. Let's go see if gold is really on the rise. Look at that. Look at that. Gold's running, coming off this level of a low, going above the 3 and the 20-day exponential. I'm going to change the graph layout to one of my trade layouts. Looking at the 3 and the 8. As soon as I can find it, there it is. Where did the 3-8 cross? Wow, look at that, 4 days ago. Gold could be now. If I'm looking at this though, the downtrend looks to have been broken. Let's go draw a freehand line. Let's connect the highs here. I'm going to use, dang. Guess I got to use this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So notice, not only did the 3-8 cross 4 days ago, we went above the trend line, the downward trend line 2 days ago. The only problem is I got headwinds. Let's go.
It wasn't a descending channel. If you put a line on the bottom half of those candlesticks, it looks like a descending channel. It just broke out of.
I'm going to do that for you. You talking about here? Take it, Joey. Give it to him. Let him draw
Oh.
wherever he wants to draw it. This is very interesting. Is it time to get into gold? And maybe Ryan, that could be a good movie, a good video.
Get your popcorn.
Get your popcorn. Stop moving my line.
A little bit of a lag here.
Yeah, I know. There you go. And there's the descending.
May not be perfect, but yeah, there's the descending channel there.
And guess what? It just broke out of that channel.
I mean, that's about as pretty as a descending channel as it gets.
A
clear breakout to the upside.
The only thing I'm concerned about is that level right there. Can it break through? And then it's got this level. Once it gets through both of these levels of resistance, stock's got a good run up to the 3-month high. May not be a bad play. Not only is the move up today, but look at the move, and this is the industry, on higher volume. I like it. I like the play. I cannot lie. All right. I can close out of that. So I do like the gold play. Whoever gave me the gold play, I do like the gold play. Let's sort this by percent price change. Let's just take one right after the other. So go ahead. Let's start with Bohr real quick.
All right, we got Bohr here trading at 7.9, undervalued to 8.9. Long-term price appreciation is there at 1.48. A little bit on the riskier side, safety below 1. However, it is in an uptrend right now with the relative timing at 1.4. Overall, VST, great rating, 1.28. CI, I really like CI. It shows, that price growth persistence, and it's got a buy rating as well. Look at that. I just noticed the highest growth rate of earnings in the list. So I like that one.
GDX we just talked about, so I'm going to move to the next one. Crocs, I hate the shoes. I think they're ugly shoes, but it's a great stock. Undervalued, fundamentally sound, relative value, relative safety, both above 1, RT above 1, VSTC. There's just no getting around the quality of the stock it is. It's up almost 5% today, buy recommendation, earnings growth of 21%. As much as I may not like the shoes, it is a good stock.
Glenn, I might have to get you a pair for your birthday.
You do that, I will fight you. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. You got Barrick Gold. Go ahead, bro.
Well, we did gold already. Oh, Barrick's Gold. Okay. So yeah, that went up, 5%. Look at the price, greatly overvalued right now. Trading at $17, only valued at 11. Fundamentals not there, both poor ratings on the RV and RS. Even the RT relative timing in a downtrend. VST CI 0.37. Yeah, I don't see really anything positive here, at least for the bulls. Maybe if you were bearish on this position, even the growth rate in negative. Yeah, that's the only negative one in the list.
So interesting about that, if gold is on the rise, when we looked at the industry, could this be a bottom fishing candidate? Think about it from that perspective. Could be, especially if the industry is rising. The rising tide floats all boats.
We'd have to look at the chart and see.
It could be. I would keep my eye on it. Yeah. I would keep my eye on it. All right, CRM, overvalued. Fundamentally sound, though. RVRS, both good. RT, above 1. Overall, CI is a little bit below 1. Earnings growth rate, 25%. Another quality stock. But if you don't like the overvalued variety, you stay away from it. But I talked about that last week. Why are stocks overvalued? Earnings yield versus interest yield. More people are putting money in the stock market because they're not getting a whole bunch of interest in the bank. So that's pushing, and it's in the tech space. All right. Next one.
Now, I like URI a lot. Look at that. Okay. Undervalued, 464. We're valuing it at 573. Big updated day, up over $7, just over 1.5%. Very fundamentally sound with the RVRS positive ratings in an uptrend, buy rating. Look at the growth rate, GRT. I mean, this stock looks phenomenal right now, to be honest.
I agree. That's a good pick. Lululemon, well, we know that that's in retail space, overvalued. Fundamentally sound, though. You guys gave us great stocks today for the most
Yeah,
part.
I do like these stocks.
Lululemon across the board, 21 looks good. That's all I got. That's all I got to say about that. Teddy Dan, you got new legs. All right, let's go to the next one. AVGO. We talked about it as one of my stories today, but
yeah, this is your Broadcom here. Let's see here. It's undervalued. Big update today, up over $5. RVRS, some big ratings there. That is actually the second highest safety rating in the list. So I like that a lot. The uptrend, it's got the biggest momentum in the list right now, 1.72, CI at 1.51, buy rating. I mean, this is one of the top ranked ones in the list, honestly.
And the whole VMware thing, they're not buying a fly-by-night company. They're buying a well-known company. I think that just adds to the ability for them to make money. URI has dividends too. Let's go see. We didn't look at the dividends.
Does it?
I don't know.
Yeah, the yield.
And the dividend safety of 91, the highest. The highest dividend safety in there is on URI. I agree. All right, EXP. You done with EXP?
Yeah, we got Eagle Materials here. Let's see.
Did you just hear me? I said, were you done with EXP?
Oh.
No, shut up.
I didn't catch that at first. Glenn, that's way before my time.
He still didn't catch it, Joey. Sigh. Go ahead.
All right, undervalued right now, trading at 184. We're valuing it at just shy of 240. Slightly up today, just up over half or under 0.5%. RV and RS, fundamentally sound company. In an uptrend, I like the RT at 1.51. Even the VST, one of the top in the list, has the buy rating here and the growth rate earnings. Everything looks good there with that position. Now, this is a really good list today.
Except for Wally World. I am not a fan. I can't say I'm not a fan of Wally World. I shop at Wally World. I people watch at Wally World. Way overvalued.
They need to increase their e-commerce platform. They
really
got to focus on that.
Well, no, you know why they don't? Because that's what Amazon does. So I think Walmart is the biggest brick and mortar, whereas Amazon is the biggest internet. So I think that they're trying to stay in their own lanes, and I don't think that they're going to put a lot of money behind that e-commerce side, knowing that Amazon and they'd be chasing after Amazon.
Yeah,
I think that they know that their strength is that they are the biggest retailer, brick and mortar, out there. So, if I'm in Walmart, do I really want to go chase the Amazon business and be behind the 8 ball? So I hear you. I think that that's why they're not doing it. Is because
they have that Walmart membership, the online thing where you get free delivery, kind of like Amazon.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen that. It's like $50 a year.
You know what I do like about the Walmart? I can put in the product that I'm looking for, and it tells me what aisle it is and where it is. But the bad thing is, because of their bad AI, half the time it ain't really even there. That's another whole thing in it. So, all right. Amazon Prime Day. Something? It was yesterday and today. Somebody asked me what was I doing for Amazon Prime Day. I didn't find anything I want. Only thing I was really looking for was more DJ gear, but nothing was like super discounted. Nothing was like. Did everybody feel the same way? Did anybody feel the same way that when you went through the process of looking for Prime Day stuff, was there a lot of stuff that you weren't interested in? Type a yes or a no. How about you, Ryan?
I didn't find anything I really liked.
Yeah, I was in the same boat. I was in the same boat this year that there wasn't anything that caught my attention to go, yeah, I'm going to go get that. Get Paramount with a wall. I got Paramount. I pay more in subscriptions than I pay for more than I pay for cable. And I got cable. I got cable in just about every subscription out there.
Did you upgrade your Paramount with the Showtime?
No, I don't know.
I got the basic one.
I got Showtime through something else. But a lot of people are saying the same thing. that there wasn't a lot on Amazon that they really wanted to take advantage of for Prime Day. Joey, did you go shopping on Prime Day? Yeah. Oh, did you get some stuff? Joey said he spent about $800. Dang.
What did you buy for $800, Joey?
I don't know. I'm not getting. You bought a new drone? Oh, we can fly our drones. You got a drone, Ryan?
I do not have a drone. I had one, but I broke it.
I got about 2 or 3 drones. One really expensive one. I think it's outdated. I got it about 6 years ago. And then I got 2. Huh? You got 25% off your drone? Oh, all right. I found goodies, but no great deals, said Roger. All right. Well, I think that's all we got for today. We'll come back next week. We'll see how well we did or didn't do in our stock picks. You guys actually gave us really good stock picks for the week. So we only did 10. We're at 306, a little bit more. I don't know how many likes and all that.
Something new?
Huh?
Should we use their list and compare it with ours to see how the viewers list did over the last week?
Yep. I can make that happen. I can
like
have
that
a
idea.
custom. I can have a customer picks and a customer picks last. Yes, we can do that. We can do that. All right, okay. I'll set that up. Hey, Joey, how many likes do we have? I can't tell.
41.
41? How are you seeing that? We only got 41 likes?
I've got it opened up on a different window.
I see it now. Joey's got it opened up on my screen. All right, listen, if you like what you saw today, hit the like button. If you're brand new to the channel and you haven't subscribed to the channel, this is how we grow. This is the only way we can grow, is to pick up new subscribers. Hit the subscribe button. And this is what we do. We entertain a little bit, but we do talk about stock picks for you to take advantage of. I've seen in more than one occasion that people let us know that stock picks that we put out help you. That's what it's all about. All right, that's what it's all about. You guys are an amazing group of people. Thank you for being here with us. And Ryan's going to sign us out today.
All right. Well, thank you, VV Nation. I appreciate the positive feedback today. Good talking to you, Glenn, as always. And thank you, Joey, for assisting us. Now, you guys enjoy the rest of your afternoon and appreciate you taking your time out of the day and watching our show.
You sound like such a cowboy.
I
was about
Give me a yeehaw, Glenn.
Yeah. All right, there you go, Joey. Have a great day, folks.